James Joyce, living in Trieste just over a century ago. Vladimir Nabokov, living in Berlin in the 1920s. Isaac Bashevis Singer, living in New York in the 1930s. All of them working away. Samuel Beckett in Paris in the 1940s. All of them having in common the fact that they were writing away seriously in a language totally alien to the world they lived in and were surrounded by, working and living in practically complete anonymity. Martín Veiga has lived in Cork for many years, and I've known he is a poet. But I could never know how good a poet he was. It was the odd fragment of translation here and there. It took the publication of this book for me to discover just how good he was. He is, as Louis de Quer would put it, playing at senior hurling. He's a poet of significance and substance. And he published, 5 books in Galician. Galician language, which is as closely related to Portuguese as it is to Castilian. The Iberian Peninsula being a place more linguistically diverse than the Western European archipelago known in certain circles as the British Isles. And in this book, it's a book primarily set in Cork. It's a book of place, a book that celebrates Cork as a place, not just as a geographical location, but as a location where one leads a full spiritual and intellectual life. This is not a book that checks boxes a tourist might do passing through town and saying, "Oh, sure, I built a house in Cork last week, I write a poem about Cork." It's not that. It's a book by a poet who's living in Cork and viewing it from a very special viewpoint that was formed outside of Cork. And he writes those things and asks, how the hell does he know that? How long has he been living here? He writes about the fish nets left on the walls in French's Quay, the walls that are now under threat of being wiped away. I knew the men who laid those nets out. It must have been the late 70s or certainly no later than the early 80s, the last time they laid those nets out. And he writes about 2 wooden boats rotting under the peeling of St. Finbarr's Cathedral's bells. I know those boats. I know the men who built those boats. They're the same men who laid out those nets. And I asked myself, what the hell is Martín Veiga about that? So, there's lots we need to know, lots more we need to know about Martín Veiga. So hopefully it gives the opportunity right now to find that out.
Pat was extremely generous with his words. Indeed, it is a book of place. It is a book of places. It's a book of meditation on place and the importance of it. And it is a book also of time. I think that was my attempt when putting together the book over a long period of time. So it's also a book that came together as so much of sedimentation, if you like. And so there are many different layers, many different personas in here. And I'm delighted to be here as part of this festival. Surrounded by so many friends in a very special day. It's World Poetry Day. There's also World Syndrome Day, and those 2 causes are very important, essential to my heart. So I'm glad to celebrate poetry and to celebrate also the importance of difference and acceptance. And so I'm going to read a selection of poems. So I have to say, I write in Galician, as Pat says, and pretty much only in Galician. And so it is a strange situation being in a place surrounded by a language and a culture which is not the one in which I engaged as a writer. But I found that profoundly liberating and very enriching. And so I write from my own spot, which is mine. Obviously, with a profound awareness of my own tradition, but also of many others. I should also say that because of that, the book is a bilingual collection. So we have the Galician and the English version. The English version is, I'm glad to say, sometimes you have difficult, complex relationship with your translators, but you're not happy with the work that they produce, or do you think they could be improved, or of course everything can be improved on. But I'm very happy to say that I had a very fine translator, who's also a good friend, and who did a fine job, which is very satisfying. His name is Payne. He's also a poet, as you know, and a very fine translator. A man of many registers and many nuances in English. And so I'm fortunate that he dedicated a significant amount of time to my poetry. I'm going to read in English, so what you're going to hear are really Keith Payne's words, not so much my own. And at some point I just read one poem in Galician for flavor. This is the opening poem. This is the opening poem. This is the one where I set my spots in my lookouts. That's called The Anatomy of Water. This balcony, this lookout, is a footbridge, a moss-faced tower, a stepping stone where I hold tight to an uneasy balance. That's the measure of my time in these soaked hours, every second of my time. A trembling shift, a heartbeat that drifts and is washed away with the running current as it crawls the old wounds around the walls of the river bend. This snug bridge where the river rides by the tiled brewery and the old repainted boat sheds that sag by the drab dust of the car park. This never-ending flow I follow, another run through, no coda. The chorus I play over that keeps me company is this endless murmuring water, the troubled whispering days, the dark nights of uproarious horse paddling. I've known the river reveal shadows of some mysterious lake-like calm, stillness of leaves floating, dragonflies flitting about clumsily. Then, winter evenings, it rushes down, streaked in white curls that douse the moss on the banks. And so every day, the river's course is renewed as the lead draws to the city. That's so much a part of me. It will never be mine. No, just the fierce daily vigilance to bring the poem to life, to feel the water flow in my veins, darkening in the dim, murky blood, like the sign of a tired breath rising off the whirlpools, floating through the hedges, to feel the echo resounding sheds. The coordinates of time are set, and I can never get it back. The endless current of life passing by, and the eyes wide open, watching it all shine. The anatomy of water, just like the anatomy of spirit, reservoir, diary of what's inside. The next point, I was thinking this morning that there's a very long tradition of dawn poems, of poems set in the early morning hours. From medieval times, where there is an actual subgenre of alba poems in the Galician Portuguese tradition, for example, to the more contemporary days, where we all have that kind of instinct to respond to the day beginning, a new beginning, the breaking of the day. And I can think of, you can all think of many fine poems that kind of tick that box, so to speak. I'm thinking this morning of Larkin's Ovad, or Gil de Viedma, the Catalan writer, Ovad, which is very different in tone and so on. And so this is my own, this is my poem. The dogs settle, the rain stops falling, and the icy fingered dawn crawls into bewildered limbs. Night's rasping veil falls back. The light slowly fill the corners of the house, gently to begin, then suddenly warm, conquering like a body that stirs from sleep, gradually finding its way back, till finally it meets the days, clumsily lumbering along the floor with hollow, absent words. And then hooded crows in the trees, kids awake, buses leaving, and a bluish light behind the beehives where stars recline, where granite eyes fall on the abyss that precedes, that never wakes, that never will, as it pulls away from me now, down along the green ways on the road to Kinsale and Skillereen. Down at the harbour, a heron considers the river. Feathers flutter like lightning in the dark, calm waters lapping, the green-stained slipway empty of boats. There is nothing but cigarette butts, bottles, and fallen leaves. Gone the fisherman's grey hour when the brilliant sun streaks the fish scales along the shore. And still light drips between the old mill wheels and the brewery. As the day begins, light shatters the chimneys and towers, the brambled corners of the house in ruins. Night still clings to the high beams, to the soft, whispering river run, the thick, abandoned groves of Inniscarra. The next poem is a poem of questioning. And it's pretty much myself, Payne, asking questions to mysteries of life, to the mysteries of poetry writing. The poem's called The Miracle of Light. Who said dawn tonight to the wind? Who opened the doors of the lean-to? Who spread a coat of snow over their slate roofs into the darkest corners of all the backyards? Who left the moon on, dripping like a pleasant tear between the church towers? Who felt the wild green breath of the flowers, keen for winter sun, for the day's brilliance, as they offer up their hearts to the miracle of light? Who will close their eyes to the gloaming and not place pennies on their eyelids? Who watches from the window the river flow, life passing by endlessly again? Who is that watery shadow that silently shifts by the mill-wheel, sitting through the slop holes? Who dreamt the hours living, the cold, the dread of the poem? Well, the title of the collection is Diary of Crosses Green, and so, if you're not familiar with the book, the book actually combines an actual poetic diary that was pretty much kept a record of detailed observations of reality in a very kind of precise way. So it's a topographic sort of attempt in this observation of reality. And then that diary, which goes on month after month, is combined with more sort of conventional poems like the ones I'm reading. So I'm going to read a bit of the diary so that you get a sense of the kind of the whole idea behind the collection of keeping a record of space, but also, as I said before, of time, very precisely. So this is just a few days in March. Day 1, time 22:23. The night's breath is cold and desolate. 2, 13:29. Blackbird settled on the roof in the afternoon sun. 3, 11:30. Lichen grows on the walls of the house, and only the pigeons are home. 4, 9:18. A sudden shower passes stretched brilliantly across the morning, like the golden strings of an ancient harp. 5, 15:12. The warm sun lovingly overwhelms all the rooms in the house. 6, 18:33. A quiet night falls over a serene city. The sky is cast in pale orange. 7, 11:20. In a garden in Noia, Irish daffodils golden like the mornings in March. 13:21. Recalling that insult also burns. The voice clear and high, calm but angry, as it echoes through the whole parish, down the paths, along the ditches, the muddy banks, across the meadows and the puddles in the Sunday that 8, 23:39. The stream swirls concentric circles of water, while the night slowly drowns. 9, 10:18. The Finnish brewery bellows like a wild animal caught in the calm morning. 10:21:03. The grass grows high on the slipway, but there are no skips. 11:23:48. The Ria by floodlands. 12:19:48. A cool wind brings the sweet song of the blackbird through the shadows of the gloomy. 13:17:19. The Till floats down river, carried along on the slow current. 14:12:01. Two cormorants resting on an overhanging branch by the river, still, statuesque. 20:36. My mother has the garden in full bloom, a soft buffeting against the old white wall. 15:11:18. The pigeons slip across the roof slates, drenched in the heavy rain. 16:17:53. The fog slowly enfolds the chimneys. 17:14:08. Ballyvourney, Cooley, the pride of place, the deep love of land. 18:13:39. A pair of blackbirds making their nest in the bramble-covered wall. They hop through the gap with chaff in their beaks, happy, hard at work. 19:15:49. The hush, spring sunshine softens our bodies, the warm rooms. 20:18:23. The muddy river turning downstream after the rains. A pigeon huddles on the roof. 21:11:58. We're still on the same grounds. Statues under the insistent rain. The cormorants. So often, as this goes along, the poem centres in dialogue with the dialogues and so on, to create a particular sense of place. I'm going to step out of this place for a minute because I want to read a poem that is, means quite a lot to me as poems do. And that is included in a book that many of you will know because it was published a couple of years ago. It's called Migrant Shores, and it was published by Sam, and it's an anthology of Irish, Moroccan and Galician poetry, in which Irish poets, many of whom are present, were asked to translate into English and to reply, to write a poem in response to Moroccan and Irish poems. So Eiléan Ní Chuilleanáin translated my poem, and then wrote a lovely poem in response. So this is Eiléan's translation of my poem. And if we go with what she said in PCC 3 or 4 years ago, in the discussion we had about poetry translation, this is not my poem at all, in fact it's hers, because that's what she argued, that the translated poem doesn't belong to the poet anymore, it belongs to. So what I'm really here, I'm an imposter really, I'm reading somebody else's work all afternoon. And so this is the next point. The whole book has to do with women and the experience of mobility. And so what I really imagined was the experience of my grandmother, who was born in Havana, with my great-grandfather emigrated, and then they went back to Galicia. But one thing she used to say, and kept saying until she died, was that when people complained about what they had lost in life and the stuff they used to have that they don't have anymore, you know, she always used to say, "Oh yes, I also had a house in Havana." As part of something that she had lost. So that's how the poem is called, "A House in Havana," in memory of Maria Fiania González, who was born in Havana. Facing the grey wall of loss, the thin remembrance of all that belonged in the past, always you would say, and I used to have a house in Havana, and I used to feel the warm wind caressing my face in the evenings, a penetrating breeze carrying the smell of seaweed, searching every cranny of the dwelling, from the tiled courtyard to the swirling palms of the promenade. Yes, and I had a house in Havana, and it was left behind with everything else, a whole life in pieces in the rush of living, the shadow of all the days of childhood, now so far away, that time that fled like sand between my fingers, leaving a trace deposited inside. The crumbling ruins of that house I had, and I used to have a house in Havana, where I was born the first time into the world. They tell of the rumors of absence, the downtown devastation that did not end, the raucous sea echo beating and beating inside the caves, beginning again the ancient hymn. And I don't know how I got through the long crossing back to the home my parents had left behind and wanted now to return to. But the white curlicues of the liner's foaming wake ploughing the water are fixed in my mind's eye like a faint memory of a memory, the luggage trunks floating in the fog or in an ocean of woolly strained sheep. That's how you speak of it, while the refractory flight of gulls bringing to mind the calligraphic poems of José Juan Tablada by the insomniac lighthouse, landed on the rocks by the pier at Noia, and the waves, so gently, so absent-mindedly, darkened the slime of the sleepway by the jetty, lit the boats, lit the scars of memory. Going back now coming back to home, there's another feature of the book which is probably part of the way people, after living here for a long time, we still relate to different identities, and so the book goes over and back from Galicia to Ireland. That's part of I suppose our daily experience. This poem was written in response to the ecological disaster of the Prestige tanker when it broke. Actually, it broke in two pieces in front of the coast of Galicia many years ago. It was a huge oil spills. So this is called Elegy in Winter. I belong to an Atlantic king, welcoming as a moist Medusa's embrace and a delicious kiss from the sea. My spindrift soul desolate floats, darkly pitched from Eiléan to Inchidoni, from the infinite dingled strand to the wandering rocks of Corvedo, from the Fonforon sea caves to the pier at Corseiro, where the brightly singing children play. Down Clonkinty Bay I watched the heron who stands no more in the eelgrass of Barbanza, Walking the shore in Cove, I came across the remains of bottlenose dolphins who faltered in the cove at Arnella, lost and blind. And I am out of my depth among rotting razorbills, the abyssal gulls, immense sea stacks beaten back by invading waves, gusts buffeting the stripped cliff face. Remnants arrive at the quays, dark anchors chill the misela, and a man stumbles over the black rocks, birds sigh. Now, to conclude with a poem. Those of you who are familiar with the area, and Cross the Green is just behind us, really. And, I mean, it's really transformed since the day the majority of these poems were written, and I have to say, probably not transformed for the better. I think there was an authenticity to the place that is now kind of perhaps disappearing in a way. We just saw prime time the other day about the redeveloping of the area, and it's quite concerning. We're not to pay a lot of money for this development. But this poem is so there were many aspects to this place. Some of them remain, and one of them is a funeral home, which happened to be just around the corner in front. The funeral home is still there, and it brings a particular sort of atmosphere to the place. Where funeral homes are, people gather, and they gather for a particular purpose, and so I think it's a special form of coming together. And so this poem is about the area, but focusing in particular in the specific form of interaction that develops around funeral homes of this particular one. It's called The Light of Day. While the world around trembles, the lumber of the past burns in the distance, memories of lost moments are drowned and will never surface, as the stinging cold of the bee huts in Ushir and Eiléan's poems. When the heart hides the bleak hours in the darkest alcoves under the quays, a rainbow flares on a chestnut bird, where the moss and lichen grow, and the crowfoot trembles by the riverbank at the glorious passing of swans. While the children sing lightly on the stone steps to the river, the starling builds its empty nest under the rain-bright roof slates, which in the cracks made by bitter winds in the hidden crevices of warmth and shade. While the evening casts the devastated faces of the crowd praying by the bridge, a spray of flowers floats by on the water, leaving reeds that will illuminate the shores of memory, the verge of death, the tip of what's left in your hands when everything ends. While in Crosses Green the light of day dissolves, as the wake of the boat whips through the river bend, the mottled teal rests on the slipway, and the sun shudders against the island chimneys. Rooms are perfumed from roasted prairies, love perfumed by funereal chrysanthemums, the grey incense of tuberose. Thank you.
So, James Joyce's brother Stanislaus lived all his adult life in Italy, and it said that by the time he came back to visit Dublin in the 1950s, he couldn't speak English anymore. Now, today in the globalised world, English and Spanish are all pervasive. You know, if you want to listen to Spanish all day long, or English all day long, you could do it anywhere in the world. But it's not quite the same for Galicia. So, I mean, as a writer writing in Galician, you know, far removed from where Galicia is the everyday pervading linguistic force. You know, you can't walk around the corner, pick up a Galician newspaper, or you can't switch on the radio and go from channel to channel in Galician. How does a writer sustain that necessary intimacy with a language to continue writing? Now I know certain writers seek to escape it. I know that Samuel Beckett, for instance, escaped into French because he thought his English was too rich even living in France. But do these questions concern you, Martín, writing Galician here at Cork?
I mean, after having to come up, it doesn't. No, they don't really. They don't really concern me. It's something that I've been here for like over 20 years, and it's something that at times to consider as a writer. I suppose the immediacy of the contact is not there. Of the sort of oral language, but what that actually allowed is what I believe is a more profound understanding of the language and liberating. I feel liberated from the kind of the everyday prescriptions of linguistic authority, which happened with minority languages sometimes. And I think I managed, or I don't know, I managed to acquire, but I continue working on a more profound understanding and kind of knowledge of the language. So I don't know if this is looking at my work from the outside is kind of different. It's difficult, I think, because it's something that is obviously very intimately ours. But I see a pattern in my work in which the language has become richer, more profoundly connected with the tradition than if I happen to live there, because of the, I suppose, the awareness of that isolation, so to speak. That's the point, the first point, I suppose. In second place, I think living away from my immediate linguistic background also opened my way to other traditions and to other linguistic environments. I mean, I was familiar with Irish poetry before coming here, but not so closely, obviously. And so I think that engagement has enriched my poetry very much as well. Saying that you build your own sense of tradition, you kind of have your own. You follow your own path, and you create your own path when it comes to what you consider relevant to sort of construct your own voice. And mine has always been open, porous, so it's open to different tones, I guess. I also do a bit of translation, and translating is all about tone. Grasping those details, and if only for making me more linguistically aware of all those details, the fact of living away from my own language has been positive. But this is my opinion, and readers at home, meaning in Galicia, might differ, which is fair enough, because everybody's entitled to their own opinions. But I feel as a writer more liberated, I feel that I come to the language with a different sense of freedom. As you can, somebody told me, you write on Cork with the freedom of not having the weight of the past of all the Cork things with you. And being free, and this is my view of it, this is my experience of the place and the talent and so on. And I find that very stimulating from a creative point of view. I wonder sometimes as well, the crisis of minority languages, not only in Galicia, could apply the same to this country and many others, in which minority languages are really struggling to find not to be respected, but to find visibility, on the central status where things really matter. It is obviously a political matter. I think in Galicia that we're feeling that very strongly in recent years. The younger generation of speakers are starting to abandon the language, so the generation transmission is starting to be interrupted, which is obviously potentially very dangerous for the future of the language at home. So in a way, I'm not experiencing that in face to face. I'm just living from a strange sort of healthy human distance, and I contribute to that. Not to allow that to happen from the distance. And I'm very involved in Galician Studies. I run the Centre for Galician Studies in GCC, which has been there for over 20 years. And we do a lot of activity. So we're in constant touch. We bring writers and people all the time to do stuff. So it's not that I'm totally isolated